Good afternoon. Welcome to my daily Facebook Live. My name is Barry Selby, and if you haven't seen me before, welcome to my broadcast. I am a best-selling author, speaker, and relationship attraction expert, helping strong, successful women find balance in love, life, and business. Occasionally help the men too. And I'm also a passionate champion for the divine feminine. And this idea hit me this morning. This topic just landed in my lap, which I'll get to in a moment. So, in case you hadn't watched my broadcast before, I do a daily Facebook Live broadcast called Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart. And today is number 288 in an ongoing series of talks. You can find all the rest of those. I'll tell you where you can find them right now, and I'll tell you at the end as well. If you want to find out my broadcasts, you can check them out on my website, which is barryselby.com, and you click on the video blog to watch them there. I will change that eventually to a proper blog format. We'll see. That's on my list of things to do when I overhaul my site. And also you can find them on my business page on Facebook, which is barryselby.author, and on YouTube. So let's get into the topic, shall we? So the topic today, number 288, is, do you avoid yourself in love? Or as I put it, are you a self-avoider? And it sounds a bit cute and quaint. And in fact, in a way, this is the opposite of what I talk about. And I'll get to that in a moment and explain what I mean. So, what I mean, are you to avoid yourself in relationship, is do you avoid being single? Let's start with that one. Is being single a scary place for you to be? And in fact, do you feel that if you're not in a relationship, your life has either no meaning or little meaning? In fact, you've got to be in a relationship to feel worthy or deserving. And this is, if this is true for you, actually, no, I'm not going to jump ahead. Let me stick with the problem first, then get to the solution. So, if you're someone who doesn't feel fully alive until they're in a relationship, or you feel that your life alone is very vanilla, or black and white, or sepia, or bland, or the words that describe it, or you find that you feel like you're left out if you're not in a relationship, you might be a self-avoider. It's like I'm going down the redneck joke line, if you know that litany. For a lot of people out there, being single is actually a scary place to be than being in a relationship, which in some ways sounds backwards, because I've talked about this before, that when you're in a really powerful relationship, that's where the cutting edge is, where the growing edge is, where your life will transform if you really want to do the work. But for a lot of people, not you of course, but somebody you know, being in a relationship is a way to hide out. Being in a relationship is where you can put your focus on the other person, not on yourself. Being in a relationship is a way to actually avoid... Thank you, Marsha, I appreciate it. So it's so great listening to you on these live broadcasts. Really appreciate your insights, love and wisdom. Thank you. I'm saying that because when this goes up on YouTube, the comments won't be seen. So that's why I'm repeating them for those people watching there who don't know who I was talking to, what I was talking about, or respond to the comments that were coming up. So, to get back on topic, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Marsha. So, feeling comfortable, feeling safe in a relationship, being able to avoid dealing with yourself because you focus on the other person. It's a way to feel busy in a way. For some people, being in a relationship is a way to feel like they've got something to do. Whereas when they're not in a relationship, they don't feel like they're doing anything. And to be brutally frank, these sort of people are generally people who aren't willing to do the work on themselves to become more authentic, more transparent, and actually better relationship partners. Yes, it's sometimes easier to just be in a relationship, have a family, and ignore the rest of life. Isn't the healthy way to be? Truthfully, and this is my well, let's say it this way. If you don't spend time, say it differently, if you don't spend quality time being single, you may not spend quality time in a relationship, or you may not as easily spend quality time in a relationship. I think that's kind of how it makes sense. The choice of being in a relationship can be one where you're avoiding living life. You're avoiding being single. You're avoiding facing your own demons, your own challenges, your own opportunity to grow and heal and live. It can also be, on the other side, the most profoundly powerful place to grow and evolve and become yourself. It's counterintuitive. In fact, they're contradicting each other. Yes, I'm saying that being single is the place where you grow, and being in a relationship is the place where you can grow. There are people who avoid both of those scenarios. There are people who actually prefer being in a relationship where they don't have to do anything, where they can focus on other things like the other person and not their own stuff, so they don't grow. That's not how I encourage you to be in a relationship. In fact, you'll find that chapter is not in my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. My book is actually about how to have a powerful relationship, a profound relationship, an authentic relationship, which people who are self-avoidant won't be interested in either. So, let me speak to the single part, Pete. That's where I want to get to the solution part of this, because I've talked so much about being in a relationship. Let me speak to being single. I don't speak about that as much, I'm realizing. So, to not avoid being single, to actually choose to be single intentionally, consciously, and willingly, that's a good word. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word in it. Well, let's leave it where it is. You got my point. To choose to be single that way, as a catch-all, means that you're taking the time to really work on yourself. Work on yourself? What does that mean? It means that your days are not going to be filled from working 9 to 5 or whatever your hours are to get home, have a beer, have some dinner, watch TV and go to bed. That's not working on yourself. That's the way people live life, both single and in a relationship, which is the unconscious sort of way of living. And those people are probably not watching this broadcast. If you've done that and you're tired of it and you want to change, then keep watching. I might have some insight for you. Being consciously single, that's a better way of putting it. Consciously single, there's a good choice. Means that you take life not by the horns or by the balls, but by the hand. Let's play with that way. Being consciously single is to take life seriously for yourself, to make each day count, to make your experience important enough so that it's not about just experiencing life, but it's about also experiencing yourself in life. Ooh, layers upon layers. This is like meta stuff. Choosing your wholeness, your health, your healing, so you can live life more fully and more powerfully and more enjoyably, is part of what the journey of growth is about. Yes, consciously. Yeah, exactly, Masha. Consciously. And for a lot of people, if you do that, you'll change everything about your life. I was actually talking to a friend of mine this morning, reflecting on my first date experience yesterday, and you have to watch yesterday's broadcast about that one. I'm not going to talk about it here. But yesterday, this piece of it I didn't talk about yesterday was recognizing that, and I'm not trying to be, let me be clear, I'm speaking about this from a point of observation differences, not to say I'm better than or more than, because that's not where I want to go from. However, I've been in this journey for a long time, this personal growth journey, experiencing spiritual development, growth, and everything else, and I got a long way to go too. I'm not saying I'm done with it by any means. But when I was with this person on this first date yesterday, I noticed the difference of conversation. So I threw things in there that were deeper conversation questions, and they seemed to go straight by her. Those are red flags, by the way, for me. And becoming face to face with that and recognizing once again that there are differing levels of choice on the planet for what you choose about being alive and awake and conscious, or just getting through life the way you do, it's all okay. It's all about a choice. Personally, for myself and for a lot of people who follow me and the work I do in my social circle as well, are people who do examine life and question things about their own experience so they can grow and heal and become more of themselves. Being single is part of the tool belt, or should I say part of one of the vehicles for those tools to work. It's easier sometimes to grow when you're single, to evolve, to transform, to heal and stuff like that, than it is when you're in a relationship, because when you're in a relationship, oftentimes there's a desire to stay the same, which is a big mistake, by the way. Truly, when you're in relationships where the growth can happen. So as I said before, there's a contradiction in the way in what I'm saying is that being single is a place to grow, but also being in a relationship is a place to grow. Because what I'm really trying to say is, your opportunity in life in general, single or couple, is to grow. That gets my get out of jail free card in a way to say that. So this choice, wonder how deep or conscious I show up re your online dating profile. That could be an interesting question. I would suggest I would look at how you frame what you're looking for and what you express yourself as. Online, thank you, Siobhan, is that you say? I think that's how you say your name. I hope I get it right. wondering how deep or conscious you show up in your dating profile. That's the thing. A lot of people don't put their thought into what they're writing in their profile because they're either afraid to ask what they want, afraid to express who they are, or feeling they should fit in like everybody else. So, before we get to that, let me get back to what I was talking about, because that's a deeper question. I could get into a whole nother talk about that one. And dating profiles are not where I'm specializing, so just to be clear, I'm not saying I know exactly how you should do it, but I would say, just as a end piece for that particular question, be clear about what you're asking for, and clear about what you're presenting and offering to your future partner. That should be in your profile. So now, getting back to the single versus couple choice. So single avoidant, I mean in the purest sense, that you're not willing to face your own demons and face your own life and face your own expression, because truly being single is where you can do amazing work. As I said, you can go much deeper when you're on your own than you're in a relationship, because a lot of ways, well, I got to change that one. Sorry, let me change that one. Being single is where you can do a lot of work. Being in a relationship is where you can also do a lot of work if you have a partner that supports you in it. And ideally, if you want a conscious relationship, you'll choose a partner who does do the dance with you, goes deep with you. But being single is where you have less enmeshment for that to happen. So for those people who are single avoidant, a lot of times it's because they don't want to face their demons, do their own work. I know some people in particular, I'm not going to name names, who seem to be in a relationship, like they will be in a relationship for 6 months, 8 months, a year. They'll break up with somebody and in 2 weeks are in another relationship. And that relationship goes for another 6 months, 8 months, a year. And they break up and have another relationship. Those are the people I'm talking about who are not willing to face their own stuff and not even comfortable being on their own. That is an error in approach, because the truth is the only person you're really in a relationship with, the only person you're in a relationship with for your whole life is yourself. So avoiding that seems a bit pointless. I'm just seeing what else is there. There's a bunch of stuff I threw at you in that, and hopefully I'll give you something to think about. So thank you for watching by the broadcast, by the way, and thank you for the questions and comments that came in. I do invite you to share this out with people in case you think there's anybody who should watch this for their own benefit. I'm just seeing if there's any other pieces of threads I've got to pull in to tie this up in a nice little bow. Thinking. Let me recap a couple of things, see if there's a piece in there I haven't touched it. I feel like something missing, but I'm not sure what it is now. Let's say it this way. My invitation to you, if you're not in a relationship, if you're single, is, especially you haven't been single for a while, or haven't been single for long, is make it a priority. Hi Michelle, nice to see you in the broadcast. Aloha to you too. Is to take time to enjoy that, if you can. If you're not comfortable being single, this may be hard for you to do, but if you can actually put your focus into, your intention into, your willingness into embodying your singlehood, experiencing, expressing it, growing into deeper love, acceptance, and the forgiveness of self. There's it right there. Thank you, Marsha. Exactly. Having the opportunity when you're single to actually be focusing on yourself, to love yourself, accept yourself, and to forgive yourself. Definitely easier to do when you're single than you're in a relationship, unless you have a really good partner, as I mentioned. But making that a priority gives you more access to let's try that one again. Giving yourself permission in those areas to love and forgive and accept yourself gives you the freedom to love more powerfully, which means that you can actually be in a much more profound, authentic, and amazing relationship if you choose a partner who can match you there. Because that's the other part too. Once you start growing into that deeper love and acceptance and forgiveness of yourself, as you said, Marsha, will absolutely require that you find a partner that's done that work themselves. It's really hard to be in a relationship, and this is the downside of doing this work when you start doing this work when you're single, is that it's hard to be in a relationship with somebody who hasn't done that work. So if you're somebody who's falling in love with yourself, accepting who you really are, and forgiving yourself for past sins, and you've done the real work on yourself to become more whole and healed, when you fall in love with somebody else who hasn't done that work, it's going to be really challenging. Yes, Siobhan, less matches. That is one of the prices you pay. Oh boy, now I'm going to scare people off for doing the work. I've talked about this before in my own personal friendships, because I've been on this path for a long time, which means the dating pool shrinks slightly. So yes, less matches. I'm sorry to say yes. If you do, if you do a lot of this inner work, well, let me say it this way. If you do a lot of this inner work and you heal and grow and become more powerful in your own self-love, self-support, and self-acceptance, the dating pool does shrink, and the quality of a dating pool increases dramatically. I'll get to that in a moment, Marcia. Thank you for that point. But also, you're becoming one of the new, I guess I say, the awakened people. That sounds so crappy to say it that way, but it's kind of the idea. But let me go back from Marcia's point here. It seems true on the face of it, but in reality, everybody's lovable. Yes, everybody is lovable. This is a whole other piece of the topic. Sometimes it's easier to love somebody else than they are willing to love themselves. And your love of them may or may not heal them. It can be an uphill struggle. There are people who I love from a distance I won't love up close. Let's put it that way. Not relationship-centric, but friends and people I've seen in that challenge. So getting your program helps a person grow into a better person. Yes, Michelle. That actually, my online program and my coaching, even though my online program is designed for women to attract amazing relationships, the secret sauce, in a way, in part of that, is they start to really respect themselves and set their standards higher than they used to. So they attract a higher level of relationship. That's part of the power of that. So that's true. And in my coaching especially, Michelle, working with me, working in that work, is that they tend to love themselves more and more. So it's not so much making a better person, but a healthier, happier, and more loving person. And for me, that's my contribution to the planet. The more loving people I can help facilitate, the greater the loving on the planet, the better the planet becomes. So that's my big plan, my big mission. It's world peace through self-love. How about that? I've gone a bit off topic, I think, but I think you got my point and my intention with this. My invitation to you, thank you for that, Michelle, I appreciate it. My intention for you is to look at your own life and choose into the love for yourself, to really investigate in here, to start, you appreciate the distinction of intimate and sphere. Okay. Yeah, self and then, yes, thank you. You're welcome. My invitation to you, my recommendation, my suggestion to you is to look at your own life, especially again if you're single, and choose yourself. Vote for yourself. Be victorious in your own life. Put yourself first. Express and honor who you are, which means doing the investigation to heal what's in the way and to really acknowledge and respect who you really are. Because a lot of people don't necessarily honor and respect their value. They actually judge their lack in some way. If you're in a relationship, on the other side of this, you can do this too and be warned. If you choose to grow and heal and transform your life and your partner doesn't, this is chapter something or other in my book, I talk about this in my book, you're actually going to put tension on the relationship. So if you're not willing to put your relationship at risk, because it will put your relationship at risk, you may want to stay where you are. I don't recommend that, but it's a choice. If you choose to grow and develop, you can encourage your partner to do the same thing. But if they don't, you might find yourselves drifting apart. You actually find yourself separating because your growth and your healing isn't supported and reflected in that past relationship. So it's a choice. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. That should give you something to think about. I do appreciate your comments today and your interaction. And again, I invite you to share this out with anybody who thinks should watch this. This is a topic that could go deeper. I know there's more to this, but it's worth thinking about if you're single, what your perspective of yourself is in the mirror, internally that is. External too. I mean, when you pass the mirror, do you like go thumbs up or you go, oh boy? That's a gauge of your own decision, your own choice. So if you do have an oh boy response, maybe look at that. As I've been offering recently, I'll just say this again. If this is something that's of concern to you, you want to get some help in this area, I am offering a complimentary discovery session, my gift to you, to talk we'll do like a 30-minute conversation. I'll help you get some clarity, and if working with me appeals to you, I'll tell you about that too. Just go to my website, which is barryselby.com, and click on the Let's Chat navigation choice, and that'll take you to a page where you can sign up for that. Rosa, what you say? When one is a nurturer, one has a difficulty not putting the other first when in relationship. Balance is key. Continuing to love and nurture oneself is definitely something one should try to practice, whether in a relationship or not. Thanks for lovely videos. Thank you. And you haven't seen them for a while. Well, they're still saved. You can watch them anytime you want. So let me just reread that again for myself. Continuing to love and nurture oneself is definitely something to do when you're single or in a relationship. Absolutely agreed. Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. That's part of what... But the thing is, now, Rosa, this one thing. When one is a nurturer, this is the piece. When one is a nurturer, you must... Well, I invite you to, I recommend to you to love yourself first. And in a relationship, you need to do that. Because the challenge is that it's easy to become drained because you're loving the other person, especially if you're loving them more than they love themselves. So I do invite you to look at that as an opportunity to love yourself more and nurture yourself more when you're in a relationship and when you're single, so that you can be more able to contribute. Because it's kind of like the oxygen mask on the plane idea, where you put your own one on first before you put your child's on. In a relationship, it really is about loving yourself first, nurturing yourself first, so you can then nurture and love the other person. If you're thinking that nurturing the other person is more of a priority, that's actually an error in approach. So try that one on for size. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I agree totally too. So thank you, Rosa, for your input and ideas and thoughts, and I'm glad we agree. Again, if you want to get support and want to reach out to me, you can go to my website, click on the Let's Chat button and set up a discovery session with me. It's my gift to you. If you want to find the broadcast, this is number 288. Yeah, I'm gonna make it 300 this month. You can find those on my website, which is barryselby.com. You can click on the video blog, or you can find them on my business page on Facebook, which is barryselby.author. And you also watch me on YouTube, which is Barry Selby user handle, and Messages from the Masculine is the playlist. Again, if you want help, reach out to me. Comments and stuff below. If you want to share this with your friends, please share it with them. Hi, Jennifer. Just signing off. You've missed my broadcast. You have to come back and watch it from the beginning, which you'll be able to do as soon as I sign off. I appreciate watching and following me. I do appreciate the support. And again, if you know anybody else who needs some help, you send them to my website, and I'll be there to support them. Thank you again for being with me. I'll see you again tomorrow for 289. And as always, take care of yourself. Yes, you can. Watch the replay. Thank you, Jennifer. Please take care of yourselves. Honor, respect who you are. And raise the bar for yourself. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too, Michelle. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.